Hi again. Previously we saw how can we fetch a single IFC object using a hard-coded express ID, but in real apps we usually don't know those IDs in advance. So what are we going to do in this video is to discover how can we retrieve all elements of a given IFC type and work with their IDs in JavaScript. So here is my code. As usual, you can find this branch in GitHub. So as usual, I repeat, we start always with opening a model, processing, and then closing it. So what are we going to discover today is basically how to get the types. All right. So, or how can we get IDs by type, sorry. So basically I'm just going to type const type IDs and do IFC API get lines or line IDs with type, and this takes as usual our model ID and also the type. I'm going to come back real quickly, and the third argument is include inherited. So if your type has some inherited subtypes, you can add a third argument like true to consider that. We're not going to do that. Let's go back to our types. So our types, basically you can find them in open node module, Web-IFC, and go to this file. You can find them in here. So these are the types. So we need to import one of these constants. As you can see, they are numbers, and use them in here. So basically I'm just going to, as you can see here, I imported already IFC door. So I'm going to type IFC door. What this means is I want to get all the IDs in my IFC file that has a type of IFC door. All right. So let's console.log this and see what do we have. So here in my browser, I'm going to upload my file, and as you can see, this is what is returned. So we hover over it, we see that it returns a vector number. It's not a JavaScript array. So basically we cannot do something like this to get the length of it, and we cannot do this to get the first element, for example. What we can do instead of length, we can do size to get how many elements do I have in this type. All right, and I can log that here. So I can check that quickly. So I see that I have 14 of them. So what we can do is just create a for loop where I'm going to use that size in here, and here I'm going to get IDs like this dot get that I. So let's just log these IDs. So again, we upload our file, and you can see these are the IDs of the element doors. You can just copy one of them and make sure it is a door. All right, so we'll find it. There you go. So now that we have that ID, we can do what we did in the previous video. So basically we do line IFC API dot get line, and we provide that model ID that we have and this element ID that we just got. And here I'm going to console.log that line. Let's check that quickly, and as you can see, here are the objects. So as we saw previously, you can flatten, you can add the additional properties and have much more in these objects, as you can see here. Great. So one additional information, as you can see here, when I hover over this IFC door, it's a number, as I showed here in the schema. So if you want to get that, because let me just show you quickly, if I log this IFC door, IFC door, what we get is not the name of the type, but we get a number. So if you want to, for example, create a map where you have the name of the type and all the elements that are in it, what you can do is basically use a method in IFC API called getName from typecode. So there you go. This is the type code that we have, and we want to get the name from that. So let me check in here, and you can see that it logs IFC door. So we can have in some real application something like this, an array of IFC door, IFC window, for example, IFC wall, IFC space, I don't know, IFC maybe column, and you want to get the IDs of these and maybe put them into a map where you have the name of the type and all the element properties inside it. So in this case we need to create another for loop. All right, let's just call this J to avoid confusion, and I'm just going to do types.length, and this is the type code, let's say, and here type, and I'm going to move this inside like this and move this down like this. And now instead of IFC door, I can use that type code. So here we can add another console.log just to show some separation. All right, so I can add another one here to show the size or the count of this type. So let's just move this a bit up and log this size in here. And there you go. So now we can use these instead. So type IDs, yeah, everything is working, I think. So let's just check our browser. All right, so I forgot to import these in here. Save and go back. Again, we have imported this already, so let me just remove it and go back. So something is not defined, a type is not defined. So the type, yeah, it's here. So this is types and not type. Great, now it should work. There you go. So I have the IFC door in here. Oh, my mistake again. Sorry, so I need to use this this type code instead of just IFC door. Great. So again, so as you can see, IFC door 14, and here are the elements. IFC window 24, here are the elements. IFC wall, I have just one. Space, I have 21, and column, I have 0. Great. So this was our today's video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.